What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Luke. I am so glad to be back. It's been a long time, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit something different. We're going to be talking about RVs. Now on this channel, it's going to be a little different than what I've done in the past, where this is just going to be me being me, going over things that go on in my daily life, talking about things. I'm going to be talking about shoes, cars, how to work on cars, RV stuff, how to work on RV stuff. Any little thing that comes up, I'll probably be recording it and sharing with you guys. So today, we're going to be going over something that we had a problem with on our RV, and that is the water hose. Water hose apparently cannot be a garden hose or one of those green hoses that you're used to seeing when you're using it for potable water. Why is that? Because when it sits out in the sun, it starts to bake, and when you let that thing bake, your water tastes disgusting. Bubbly, it actually gets fizzy, kind of like a soda. So after a couple of days and weeks of trying to figure out what the heck's going on here, we were new to RVing, so we didn't know. We had this green one. We had to get rid of it. What we did was we researched and learned, okay, let's go to Walmart and get this new white potable, I don't know how you say it, potable water hose. This is what we did. Like, cool, this is gonna work. Water was great, working great. We got all the other little things that we're gonna go over here in a sec to go along with the water system. But today what I'm talking about is how this white one from Walmart, I think it's from Camco, is still not good enough. This last week, we start getting some of that nasty tasting water again, and we're like, well, what the heck? What's wrong? We knew the guys on the property were working on the water line, so we thought, okay, maybe that's it. Turns out, we come outside and look at this water hose, and lo and behold, it had been baking in the sun as well. It starts to turn this nasty yellow, bubbly, you can scratch it off, and it started getting into our water supply, which was after the filter. So we have the water line, then the filter, and it was baking along in the hose. We're like, well, if it was from the property, wouldn't it be caught in the filter? Well, we found the problem. So what we did was disconnected it, went back to Walmart, invested a little bit more heavily in slightly more expensive hose you just saw, which is the blue one, and it's a 50 footer for about 25 bucks. The white one was 50 feet, but it was $19, and you're gonna find it in this Aqua Pro V blue box. It kind of looks like it's meant for as seen on TV stuff. It was the next best option that we could find there, so that's what we're going with. It worked out great. I connected it on both ends and no leaks. The gaskets inside of the hoses on both ends worked great. It went right on, no second tries or anything. One thing I want to mention though, when we first started RVing, which was, gosh, back in 2019, winter of 2019, so almost a year now, we bought this filter. And you can get these at any of your local Walmarts in the RV section. They have a green version as well. It does the same thing. It's a carbon filter, and basically just, you know, gives you soft water for the whole RV. That way you don't get any calcium deposits or build up in your sinks or your shower heads, or, you know, when you're cleaning dishes, there's no spots, stuff like that. So we're like, okay, well, we've had this for the full year. Let's change it out. So we go and we buy this XL one, which is pretty much just 2 times the size, which is the one we have on here now. And I'll show you what I'm about to get to. This is the original versus the new one. The new one we got on here, we primed it with water, everything you're supposed to do, and then like a CO2 container, this thing just blew out the bottom. Freaking crazy. I thought I was gonna die. Turns out they had built the bottom of this connection point wrong on the larger one. Luckily, Walmart's got a great return policy. Went back the next day. They gave me a new one, which is, this is a new one. Didn't have to spend anything. But just so y'all can see, this black stuff you see right here, that's the charcoal. This is what is inside of those filters. And actually, if it sits out in the sun, it gets so hot that if you put water on it, it starts to steam and sizzle. Pretty sure that's not a good thing. One more tip while we're out here talking about RVing, if you need to know. This blue water line's been working excellent, but you want to make sure you have a pressure regulator. They sell plastic ones and brass ones. I would invest in the brass one. It's a couple more dollars, but totally worth it. Takes whatever the water pressure is from the park that you're at, downgrades it to a safe pressure, then sends it through your filter and onto your RV. A couple other tips and tricks while we're out here. I was out here dumping the black tank. Come to find out, up under this slide, there's a hornet's nest. Well, I took the big one down, waited the appropriate amount of time. You know, they were gone for a couple days. Ended up having to bring the slide in because of an issue with the rain, and I was having to work on the seal. Turns out they had started rebuilding and I didn't know. So it scooped 2 of those hornets, or I'm sorry, they're yellow jackets. It scooped them past the seal. So we have 2 hornets flying around the house now, and having to figure them out without using Raid inside the house. So just be careful, you guys, if y'all are pulling your slide in, always double check to make sure on the top and bottom that there's no insects, there's no grass, leaves on top, and there's no insects on the bottom, because you can end up like we did with hornets flying around in your house. What the heck? So that's it for today. Thank you guys again. See y'all in the next one.